Oh, it's dark in here. I'll be right back. Let me go turn on some lights. Oh, it's a little bit better. All right, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. So sorry about last night. Sure, Wi-Fi was working. That's what I thought was gonna be busting out for us, but instead I had other technical difficulties. Mercury retrograde. I don't know about you guys, but it's not a myth for me. I'm a Virgo. Mercury is my ruling planet. And whenever it goes retrograde, so do I. So everything around me. And no matter how much I prepare for it, it still kind of gets me. So anywho's, I'm here this morning. I'm going to wait just a few more minutes here to see if anybody pops on. Don't forget to say hello so I can give you a big old howdy back at ya. I just love it when you guys visit with me here. I'm going to sip on my tea here. Love me some tea. So, you know, I've been avoiding this whole conversation around COVID, because, you know, that's not really, my focus is not to stir up more drama around issues that are causing us grief and pain. My whole focus is on giving you guys the tips and the tools to thrive through anything. So I was sitting here thinking the other day about my upcoming interview with the Spiritual Business Spotlight folks, and thinking about how I could address this from a more positive kind of a way, how I can give you tips and tools and ways of thriving through this environment. Now, it's been over a year. COVID has been with us for over a year now. And I doubt very much that it's going to go away anytime soon. And over the course of these months, it has been slowly eroding our faith in ourselves, in how things unfold, how it could possibly work in our favor, how we can thrive through it, not just survive it, but actually thrive through it. And I can see all of these questions and issues because they're actually happening to me as well. So I have been putting some things into practice that I want to share with you guys, things that have helped me keep my mind so I don't get all mired down in the drama and the sadness and the feelings of hopelessness and all of that good stuff. How can I stay up so that I can be a better service to Goddess and my community and myself? So I'm going to share with you some ways. Now, this is not to say that you should not be practicing your own due diligence for your own health care, following the advice of your physician and of your own common sense. None of this is to supersede those things, those therapies, those protections, those things that are going to help keep you alive. This is just kind of like an added layer, because what is happening on the physical happens energetically as well. And if we tackle the issue from an energy point of view, most times we can just kind of dial back all the physical ramifications of this damn COVID. So YouTube does not like me to talk about these things. I want to just tell you right now. So you may not be seeing any of this. You might really have to be a subscriber to see this video. Okay, so if you run across it later on in life, it could be years from now, make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss anything else. Okay, I am not an expert in this field, but what I am an expert on is self-care. I am an expert in that, and I'm an expert in sharing information. I love teaching and I do it well. So I'm here to help you with all of that. So I do not see anybody on this video with me just yet, but you know what? I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to dive right into it, bring up my notes, and let's just get this thing started. If you catch up with me later, all the better. If not, then you can certainly watch it in replay. If you do, please just ask any questions that you have, make any comments that you have. I'm going to be bringing up my notes. That's my noisy neighbor. Ignore them. And let's see what's going on here. I tell you what, yesterday was quite interesting. One of the things that I did discover in my technical issues last night, is that Google Chrome likes to use my camera. And so I had to uninstall Google Chrome because my computer was like, we don't like this, and then reinstall it. And we'll just see what happens from here. I also turned off the music in the background so that I wouldn't be streaming too many things at the same time. And hopefully we can get through all of this without my Wi-Fi crashing, okay? Because it is still snowing and anything can happen. All right, you guys, so let us just go to the basics, shall we? We are complex individuals. We are complex beings. We are more than our physical self. We are more than our spiritual self. We are more than our mental self. We are all three of those things, okay? And because of those very complex layers, our complexity is even greater. So what I'm going to share with you are tips and tools that address all three things, mind, body, and spirit, okay? So that you can kind of pick and choose from any of them to create your own healing ritual around protecting yourself from COVID, okay? Now, one of the things that is really crucial for healing or preventing diseases of any type is your mindset, okay? And your belief that you have control over what happens with your body. And to integrate a lot of your practices into a daily way of being, okay? When this becomes a daily way of being, it becomes more than just a self-care practice. It becomes how you are. It really kind of solidifies the belief in your own ability to heal yourself. And I truly believe that we all have that ability, and it's our limiting beliefs that keep us from making that possible. So, first of all, get your head around the fact that you can do these things and they will work for your intended purposes, which is to be healthy. We're going to start with care for the body. Care for the body. Why do we want to start there? Because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We cannot leave out the human quotation or quotient around that whole way of being, okay? Our body is our foundation. It's our vehicle. It kind of makes everything else possible, okay? So let us start with our body. And one of the most amazing and empowering things that you can learn how to do is breath work. Breath work. Just breathing, the simple act of taking a breath and releasing it with intention. Not just one or two times, but maybe 3 to 5 times of inhaling and exhaling. That has a physiological effect on our body, which in turn affects our brain, which in turn affects our spirit. So that's where we're going to start today, is with breathing, our breath work. Now, I want you to just kind of keep in the back of your mind that when you exhale through your nose, you're moving mental energy. When you sigh, and you exhale through your mouth, you're moving emotional energy. Okay? So, keeping that in mind, I want you to, every time that you're feeling freaked out or stressed about any kind of COVID related situation, an update on the news, not being able to get your vaccine, how it's affecting your family, your job, all of that. Whenever any of those issues come up, I want you to pause. And in that very moment, do some breath work. Take a few deep and imagine that they're cleansing, deep cleansing breath. Imagine that that breath is just flowing through every cell of your body and releasing all of the toxicity that is there, whether it be mental, emotional, or physical toxicity. Imagine that that breath is just pushing it right out of your body. All right, and restoring your body with good, clean energy. So let's just practice that right now. Just sit quietly, comfortably, without any stress, and just take a deep breath in. Imagine that it's circulating through your body, and as you exhale, it's pushing all unwanted energies out from your body. Allow your body to sink as you exhale. It will naturally relax. Allow it to. There's no reason to feel all stressed out in this very moment. Take another deep breath and exhale it out. And continue to do that until you feel a calmness settle in your body. That calmness is a shift in your vibration from fear, anger, frustration to peace. And there's nothing wrong with being peaceful when everything around you is falling apart. You cannot hope to put everything back together if you're falling apart too. Okay? You need to be centered in peace in order to bring your life back together. So, this breath work will help you do that. And it's going to be hard for you to remember that. But the more you practice it, the more it will become second nature to you and be that foundational strength that you need in any situation. Okay? So, breath work is the first thing for care of the body. The second thing is baths. And I don't mean just, get in your tub and take a bath. Yeah, do that. That is amazing. Okay. But really imagine how this water is seeping through your skin. Your skin is very porous. Okay. Very, very porous. And it is like a living organ, much like your heart, your liver, your pancreas, everything else. This is also a living organ. And when you bathe it, you are removing all of not only the surface toxins, but also any toxins that are floating around in your body will just ease out through those same pores. This is, what do they call it? Not electrolysis, hydrolysis. It has to do with water and how water moves through us. When you're drinking water and expelling water, it's the same thing with the bath. You're taking the water in through your skin and you're relieving toxins through your skin. So make sure that you put in your bath maybe some Epsom salts, if nothing else, a little bit of Himalayan pink salt, some of your favorite essential oils, things like that. And while we're talking about baths, increase water in other areas of your life. Drink more water. Just drink it. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't drink water. I drink tea and coffee and sodas and things, and that's liquid. And no, that's not water. That is not water. It's liquid, but it's not water. Much like gasoline is liquid, but not water. Okay? Your body needs water. And if you don't like the taste of your water, do something else with it. Maybe add a little lemon juice, a little apple cider vinegar, something that has some nutrition to it, but yet will not overtake the properties of water. Okay, don't go make a lemonade. Just put a little squeeze of lemon juice and lime juice in your water if you need it to taste good. Me, I like the taste of water. Water is my favorite beverage. Okay, now granted, I'm living in an area that doesn't have the best quality water. Okay, I have to go buy water, but I make sure that it's filtered and that it's um, processed with reverse osmosis and all of that kind of stuff to take out the icky parts, but to leave the good stuff. And I love that water. I use Primo, not that they're sponsoring me or anything, but I like Primo water. And they have a 5-step filtration process for their water. And so I'm very, very happy about that. So drink water. Put bowls of water around your house. When you're dehydrated, you are more susceptible to germs. You're more susceptible to illnesses that are in the air, on surfaces that you touch or bring into your home. You go out and about in the world, you're bringing all kinds of stuff back into your home. Water, little bowls of water set around your house will help hydrate the air and keep things kind of like falling back to the ground where you can sweep it up. Another good thing for that is going to be your salt lamps. Your Himalayan salt lamps will also do that for you. So water and Himalayan salt lamps, or take water and put Himalayan salt in the water. Same situation. Leave those around in your house. Of course, you're not going to want your pets drinking it and things like that. So you might want to have to put it on surfaces. But yeah, I have bowls in every corner, and it helps to hydrate my air. So that's one thing that will help you there. And then back to the third thing, which was actually the first thing that I talked about, but I'm just going to go into a little bit more here, is beliefs. So when you do an action with a specific intention and you believe that that intention is going to be fulfilled by your action, it is. That's how it works. That's exactly how it works. You do an action based on an intention, and when you back that intention up with the belief that that action is going to work, it does work. So, when doing all of these things for your mind, body, or spirit, make sure that your belief is there, that you are very, very sure that these remedies are going to help you. And I'm not making this stuff up, you guys. This is all stuff that has been practiced for eons, eons, and eons. And every healer teacher out there is going to tell you the same thing, okay? These tips and tools are not new. I just want to present them to you myself so that I know I'm doing the best job I can to help you, okay? Because that is my job. Excuse me, I'm wearing an itchy sweater, and oh my goodness, it's really itchy. Anyways, so yes, when you are going about doing anything, make sure that you are fully believing that it is going to work for you. When you take your COVID vaccine, believe that that vaccine is going to work for you. When you wear your mask, the CDC now says to wear 2 of them, okay? So you might want to do that. But when you're doing that, you're not just helping yourself, but you're helping others. Believe that. Believe in social distancing can help prevent it. I'm not saying you're going to like it. I'm not saying you have to like it. Nobody does. Nobody likes the distance between us, okay? I get that. However, right now, this is what we need to do, all right? Now, if you're going to come for me on this video and with some conspiracy type stuff and want to argue with me about the reality of COVID existing and all that, I'm going to have to shut you down. And I will shut you down right here, okay? Because it is real. You can't tell me that hundreds of thousands of people aren't dying from nothing. All right. I mean, it really is real. And we need to find ways now to live with it until we can eradicate it. And the more people who do these kinds of things, the quicker we can eradicate it. So even though social distancing is not our favorite thing right now, it is what we must do right now in order to keep ourselves healthy and the people around us. Because even though you may not contract COVID, you can still spread it. So make sure that you're doing all of these practical things and applying the energy behind it to empower it even more. Believe that you are keeping yourself safe by practicing social distancing, wearing a mask, washing your hands frequently, not touching your face, and yeah, all these other tips I'm about to give you, like taking deep breaths. They have shown that people with healthy, strong lungs fight off COVID much easier than those who are respiratorily compromised. All right. So make sure that you are taking frequent, deep breaths. This is, I don't know if you've ever had surgery, but after surgery, they always give you this little monitor thing where you have to blow into it and shoot these little things up and down. That is what you're doing, is you are strengthening your lungs. The same thing can be done without that little machine. You can still strengthen your lungs just by taking deep breaths and releasing them, and do it intentionally and with the belief that you are doing everything you can to strengthen your lungs. All right? Deep breaths, not just for lung health, but for mental health, because it will calm you. And from that calm state of mind, you can then move forward and tackle any other problem that's coming down the way. That's all I have for the body. Let's go to care for the mind. Over and above that whole belief thing, journaling helps. So there's something to be said about complaining, okay? However, it must be constructive. And if you're just complaining to your friends and family and just dumping your worries and troubles and fears on them, that's not fair to them. However, you can accomplish the same benefits by journaling. Use your journal as a way to bitch about what you don't like. God dang this COVID. Look how it's ruining my life. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever you got to say, get it out in a journal. But also talk about some of the more positive things that are coming out of your whole circumstances. How blessed you are by having your needs met, whether or not it's coming from your paycheck or something, some other funding. It doesn't matter, as long as you have food on your table, a roof over your head, all of those, give thanks for all of that. And you can do all of that in a journal. You can also process through any fears you have, any limiting thoughts that you might have. It's not just about complaining, it's also about processing and relieving that pent up energy that needs to be expressed. How do we do that in a healthy way? Journaling. Journaling, my friends, it could be 2 or 3 sentences, it could be 2 or 3 pages, however much time that you want to give it. And notice I say want to give it. You're going to want to do this, or it's not going to work. If you're just journaling because somebody told you to journal, that's not journaling. That's a writing assignment. Journaling is where you really want to unburden yourself and get it out on paper. You don't have to show it to anybody, share it with anybody. It's just for you, and it's just a way for you to process. Now, there's something that's even more powerful with journaling than when you speak it. That whole hand-eye coordination, that writing down, the whole activity of writing down your thoughts and feelings is more powerful than when you speak it. Okay? Even though words have power, when it comes to our internal thought processes and how we deal with our own issues, that is always done best through journaling. For real, give it a try. Journaling. Another thing that is good for the mind is conversation. Just a minute. This doesn't have to be conversation about COVID. This doesn't have to be conversation about your hardships or anything. This is just conversation. So even though we're practicing social distancing, it doesn't mean that we have to be far apart from each other. Thank God for Zoom, Skype, FaceTime, all these other applications that we have now that will bring us face to face with people that we want to talk to. Talk about other things. Bring back happy memories that you can draw on for inner strength, okay, and to inspire you for ways of recreating it, but in a different way. This is a period of recreation. We're going to recreate life. We're going to recreate our own life. It's going to look different, but it's going to be just as amazing as what we make of it. Have those conversations with your loved ones, with your friends, your besties that you haven't seen in a long time, your coworkers that you haven't seen in a long time. Talk about future plans, happy times, good things that you have going on for yourself. Conversation is crucial for the mind. When you're not engaging with somebody in conversation, your mind kind of goes off in its own little thing and makes up scenarios and what ifs and things like that can take you down a spiraling little rabbit hole that is hard to get out of. Have healthy conversations with people. Don't always go into it complaining. You might want to share some of your hardships, okay, but also tail that in with conversations about how you plan to reverse your hardships. Share some ideas. If somebody else is having some trying times, you might have some helpful advice, something that's worked for you. Don't be afraid to bring it up. Have conversations. Tell jokes, for God's sakes. Even if it's a matter of sharing a book and telling each other a story, reading to somebody via FaceTime or Zoom or something. Just have a conversation and use your words. Don't forget to use your words, okay? Another tip, and you're going to be like, what? Is challenges. Yes, you need challenges. I know you're like, I've got enough challenges, Hope. I don't need any more. Yes, but those are challenges for your spirit. When you think of challenges for your mind, something to give your mind to work on, that's a whole different situation. You might want to pick up a Sudoku puzzle, or I like logic puzzles. Those are my favorite. So you might want to pick up one of those, or do a jigsaw puzzle, or work out a complicated recipe that takes like 2 days to make, or something. Something that gives your mind something to work on and get you out of that constant worry, fear hamster wheel that you can get on, okay? Give your mind something else to work on. Challenges. Take up a woodworking project. Start a new craft that you've never tried before. Start making jewelry. It could be anything. It could be coloring. It could be using a coloring book, and trying out different techniques for knitting or crocheting, or it could be anything, you guys. You could plan your garden for the spring. You can get with your family and decide to build a playhouse in the backyard. It could be anything. Give your mind something else to do. So, yes, challenges. The more challenging for your mind, the better. Okay? And make it a long lasting project, not something you can whip out in 5 minutes and be done. Give it some time. All right. It will take you away from your worries and troubles, and it will inspire your mind to be creative in thinking up solutions for all your challenges. This is a mind game type of a situation. The more you use your mind, the more useful your mind will be. Okay. So, challenges. Now we're going to move on to care for the spirit. This might seem self explanatory. However, are you doing it? Okay, you may intellectually understand how these tips and tools work, but if you're not applying it to your life, they're not going to work. This is one of them: prayer. How often do you save your prayers for when you are in trouble? Just, oh my God, I need help. How many times does that happen? When really prayer is more than just asking, okay, or asking for help, or reserved for only when you absolutely need it because God's too busy. No. That's not how prayer works at all. Prayer is a conversation that you have with the divine. It's going to the divine and saying, life is really sucky for me right now. I'm really worried. I'm really scared. My family, how am I going to keep them together? How am I going to put food on the table? I'm really not seeing the blessings, or I'm really frightened. I'm not getting any sleep. All of that, the divine wants to hear it. It also wants to hear the words, please help me. See, the funny thing with being human is that we have free will. And we are the only species on this planet that has free will. All other species work on instinct or environmental impact, things like that. Only humans have free will, where we get to say yes to something or no to something. All right? The divine, our angels, our spirit team, our very ancestors cannot intercede on our behalf unless we ask them to, unless we give them specific permission to step into our lives and to impact it. They cannot do it. So if you are wondering why God hasn't heard your prayers, it may be because you're not praying. I'm just saying. Okay? And it also may be because you're not listening, which brings us to tip number 2 under Care for the Spirit, meditation. Prayer is asking, meditation is answering. All right? You go into meditation not to empty your mind, but to receive insight and answers to your prayers. If you do not set aside dedicated time to shut off the world so that you can hear what your spirit's trying to tell you, then your prayers are probably getting answered, but you're just not hearing them. All right? And so you must set aside time for some meditation. And I'm going to suggest 15 to 20 minutes a day. And if you need help getting into a meditative state, there's only a million YouTube videos out there that will help you do that. On this channel alone is a separate folder called Guided Meditations. And it's chock full of all kinds of meditations, some that I've done, some that I have scoured off of YouTube. You will find the meditation that you need. And if you are still like, oh, I don't know which one to go with, let me know. I'll pick one for you. Tell me what's going on and I will get you a meditation, okay? That's what I'm here for. So yes, prayer is for asking, meditation is to hear the answer, and they go hand in hand. And it doesn't have to be a big old formal prayer like, dear God, this is Hope, and I'm so sorry I haven't talked to you in a couple of weeks now. No, God don't want to hear that, okay? That's not what this is all about. The divine is present all the time and is wanting to help you all the time and will help you when you ask, okay? Does not care about formalities. You don't have to go there. Talk to the divine as you would your bestie, okay? Like, can you believe this is happening to me? Say it. All right, let those emotions come through. Okay, and then also say thank you. Thank you for listening to me. I await your answer. Thank you so much. I can't hardly wait to see what you've got in store for me. All of that. All right. Effective prayer has nothing to do with all the trappings and the special words and doodahs and things like that. It comes from the heart. Do you feel it? What's going on there? Okay. Bring that out in your words. Prayer. And then, of course, using meditation to silence and listen. All right. And letting those answers come through. Our last little tip for care of the spirit is service. That's right. Service. Service to others, okay? Whether they be our circle of friends, our family, our community, or even far reaching, our global outreach. All of that. Service gives us a sense of being connected. All right. With all of this that is happening now that moves us further and further and further away from each other, we must find ways to become connected again. And service is one of the quickest ways. I am doing service right now with this video. All right? This is my service to you. This is how I am connecting to you. You're not even on this video with me as I'm live doing this, okay? But yet here I am giving it to you, giving you everything I have to help you thrive through a very challenging situation. That's my service. And that is what helps me care for my spirit. Okay. So find a way to be of service with no expectation of repayment, of obligation, of, oh, I have to do that. No, do it for your own sake of spirit. This will help you. This will make you feel so good, and it will help you with that interconnectedness that we crave as human beings. As human beings, we are not meant to be so separate. You talk to the most introverted person on earth, and they will still tell you that there's at least one person that they're connected to. We need that. We can't be human without that. Okay. So that whole service bit will help us with the connectedness that we are missing in our life right now until things get better. And they will. You must believe. You must believe they will get better. And they will, because we'll make it better. We'll take all of these steps and we will make the situation better. Okay. Now, that is pretty much it that I have to say about self-care for COVID. Okay. You can apply all of this to any kind of health issue, whether it be mental, spiritual, or physical, it doesn't matter. All of these tips will help you, but this was specific around COVID. If you want even more tips, please join me every first Wednesday of the month for our Wellness Wisdom. This Wednesday, the first Wednesday in March, we're going to talk about how to love your liver and put a spring in your step. Okay, this is crucial. This is all metaphysical stuff. I'm going to give you some nutritional advice. That is true. However, most of it is metaphysical. How you can really work through those issues that are keeping your liver from not working optimally. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. And also, every first Sunday of the month, we meet and do a self-care ritual right here on YouTube. I pull a card from the self-care, let me reach for it, the self-care ritual oracle. And we talk about that card. And then we do a little brief guided meditation around it that I come up with on the fly because Spirit is with me and tells me what to say. So anyway, so those things will also help you kind of reconnect and keep yourself in a very healthy state. And also, I would like to invite you to participate in the 2021 Divine Feminine Shamanic Retreat. This is all centered around self-help, self-care as a sacred act. Okay. Now, this Thursday, the 24th, I'm going to be interviewed by the Spiritual Business Spotlight folks on Facebook. They're doing a live Facebook interview for me where I will be explaining exactly what that means. I mean, we all have kind of a sense of what self-care is, but it's going to look different for all of us. But what is self-care as a sacred act? I'm going to explain it in this interview, but I'm going to teach it to you in the retreat. I will leave links to both the retreat information as well as the Facebook page where you can find me being interviewed on the 24th at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So look for both of those links. And let's see. I think that pretty much takes care of it. I went a little bit over my 30-minute mark, but I wanted to make sure that I give you guys not just these tips, but also some ways that you can connect with me so that you can continue the journey of self-care so that you can always thrive in no matter what situation that you find yourself in. If you are watching this video after I post it and you have questions or comments, I want to hear them. Please, I welcome all of it. And I ask that you just be respectful to these points of views as I am respectful to your points of views. Don't come for me just because I want to help eradicate COVID in the most expedient manner possible. Social distancing, masking, hand washing. Those three things will help us. These other tips I'm going to give you will help you build up your immunity so that you're not bogged down with all these negative vibrations that tend to destroy our immune system. Okay? So I hope that helps you, and I look forward to talking to you in the future. And yeah, I'm here if you have any questions. Thank you so much for spending time to listen to this video. I'll talk to y'all real soon. Love ya. Bye-bye.